Hey, gym owners, Matthew Becker here from Gym Lawyers PLLC. Now, before we get into the topic of this video, let me just remind you that the information that you're going to find in this video is meant for educational purposes only, meaning that you cannot rely on any of it as actual legal advice. If you have questions about how some of this information may apply to your specific situation, reach out to us at gymlawyers.com. In this video, we're going to cover the third and final installment of a series on independent contractors versus employees. As gym owners, this is incredibly important to you. But why? Why is this distinction so important? Well, the reason I'm doing a third installment on this was I was out on Facebook earlier this week looking through some of the groups that I'm a part of where gym owners like yourself go on and submit questions to other gym owners in order to get some advice. This particular gym owner was asking about this exact question. He said, I want to hire a new coach. I'm assuming an independent contractor is the best way to go. And it's hard for me to bite my tongue under these situations because it's not that easy. When we're talking about the proper tax designation of an individual trainer, staff member, worker, whatever they are at your gym, it's not so easy as to say, I'm going to call you an independent contractor, I'm going to pay you as an independent contractor, we're going to sign an agreement that says you're an independent contractor, and therefore I have none of the responsibility or tax complications that come with designating you as an employee. It's not that easy. There are two primary considerations that we have to take into account when we're dealing with designating somebody as an independent contractor or an employee. One is the IRS. If you do not designate somebody properly for tax purposes and the IRS thinks they should be designated the other way, you look at potential issues, big potential financial issues. For example, if you designate somebody as an independent contractor and you don't pay any portion of matching their federal contribution when you pay them, and years down the road you get audited and the IRS discovers this and thinks you should have paid them as an employee, you now have to make up all of that back pay plus fines that you're going to owe every year because you didn't pay the proper taxes. The second big consideration that we have here is what we owe this worker, say for financial compensation if you fire them, if they quit, or if they get injured while they're on the job. If you provide your workers with some sort of workman's compensation, if they get injured or if you have to pay for their unemployment when they get fired, then they're an employee. And it's not going to matter whether you call them an independent contractor. If they file for unemployment and you don't have unemployment compensation insurance or workers' comp insurance or something like that because you're trying to designate all your workers as employees, you're now going to have to come out of pocket if that person files for unemployment and the state believes that you should be paying them unemployment. That's now coming out of your bank account. So we have to understand why these tax designations are important. So how do we figure out if somebody is going to be an employee versus an independent contractor? The IRS gives us a three-part test. Part number one, do you control their behavior? Do you control when they come and go from your gym? Do you control when they work? Do you put them on a calendar and say, you're going to work these hours? Okay. Do you control how much they make? Because you're going to work these hours, I'm only going to pay you X amount of money per hour to do it. Do you have standard operating procedures that you force them to follow at threat of losing their job if they don't? Okay, these all lead to an employee. What's your financial relationship with them? Do you pay them regularly? Do you pay them a lump sum, assuming that they're going to work all of these various hours? Do you pay them a lump sum per month regardless of the number of hours that they work, like a salary? Or do they come in and they do a job in your gym that they want to do, like holding a seminar, or they bring in their own clients for private training, and you simply pay them a lump sum for that individual service? That's more of an independent contractor. What's your long-term relationship with this individual? This is prong number 3. Okay, do you provide them workers' comp insurance? Do you provide them medical insurance? Do you provide them paid time off? Do you provide them sick leave? Do you expect them to be around for a prolonged period of time? Do you control their comings and goings? Do you have the ability to fire them? Okay, if so, this person is going to be an employee, not an independent contractor. These are incredibly important distinctions. That's why we're here, is to help you guys understand these distinctions so that you don't get caught later on having to come out of pocket for something that we could have prevented now. If you have any questions about any of these topics, reach out to us so we can help better set you up for success with the law and your business.